Welcome back to another video. Today we have this NSX in the shop. I am going to be vinyl wrapping this rear quarter panel for you guys in this video, and we'll do a little bit of a walkthrough. I'll kind of show you how I do it, what my mindset is, and what I'm thinking about when I'm wrapping a panel like this. Hopefully this will help some of you guys at home who want to wrap something of your own. We're doing a full white color change on this black NSX, and we'll get into it and I'll show you guys how it's done. Let's do it. Before we start the quarter panel, we have the gas cap off. We have the wheel off. We just put a little wheel cover on top to cover the caliper, just to kind of keep the dirt off of the panel because the vinyl is going to be peeled here. We don't want any of the dirt getting on the back of the film, so we put that wheel cover on to kind of protect it a little bit. We're also going to be opening the door here. We also have the engine cover or the back glass opened as well, and we got the trunk open just to give ourselves a little bit of room on all these wraparounds so we can tuck everything in and not have anything be in our way. I got my piece of vinyl cut out. I measured this to be about 74 inches with a couple of extra inches on each side, and I took the 60-inch width of the roll and I split it down the middle for 30 and 30. That should be enough to cover each quarter panel, so I can get both quarter panels cut out of a 60-inch wide piece by 74 inches. All the tools I'm going to be using, I have a couple squeegees. I have a harder and a softer squeegee here. I have my snitty that I really don't need at this point, but I may need it to cut some excess out around the panel. And then I have my knife that I'll be using to trim everything up at the end. Obviously I got a heat gun with me, and that's pretty much all I need. I'll get the top edge peeled and just get it stuck somewhere on here on this A-pillar that I'm gonna have to wrap in black at some point. And I'm gonna kind of make sure I have enough film everywhere, and I'm gonna roll it out. So I'm just gonna take a look. Okay, I'm a little lower here and go a little bit higher, give myself some more room up top. And I have plenty of room back here. My quarter panel ends here, so I have another 6 inches. Move it up a little bit. Okay, I got plenty up here. I got plenty down there. That'll be good for the back. So I pretty much got the panel laid exactly where I want it to be right now. Now I have all this excess inside the wheel area, the wheel well. I'm gonna cut this out. I don't need all that excess there. One, what it's doing, it's putting the film closer to all the contamination and all the stuff that's inside the wheel well. I don't want that getting in my film. So I'll take my snitty and I'm gonna kind of trace out the shape of the wheel well here. And now that I see it, I'll trim out that middle section. Always keep your scrap. You'll never know when you're gonna need it for smaller areas on a full wrap. So, hey Dan.
Quick question for you.
Yeah.
Doing some tint, some tail light tint.
Mid smoke.
Is this medium?
Yeah.
Confirmation.
Yes,
all right.
that is mid smoke. Yeah. It's mid smoke. I just lied to him. That's not mid smoke at all.
Got him!
Now I'm gonna start by peeling from the back side. If you're doing it by yourself, this is the way to do it in my opinion. Just tacking it up here again. And from the back, I'm gonna peel the backing paper. Now I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna lift this edge up while I peel the backing paper, and there it goes. And then I'm gonna leave the film right there. On a quarter panel, I'll always start with making sure that the very top, the nice flat area, it's a nice place to begin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull all 4 corners of the film to make sure I get the middle glassed out. So I'll pick it up and I'm gonna pull real tight. I am pulling into this corner and I'm pulling into this corner. I'm pulling up and down and towards me at the same time by going diagonally into the corners. And what I'll actually do in the middle here is I'll just make sure it's tacked down somewhere. Lift it up. I'm gonna pull this middle nice and tight. So you can see right there, I have a nice straight line to start with. Now I have a big finger running across below that area. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I can just easily pull that out. There we go. I have not used any heat yet. Keep in mind, I am just stretching the film out to lay a little bit flatter. I have a nice flat area right here. This is where I'm gonna start. So I'm gonna make one squeegee mark and I'm gonna go, actually there's a gas cap right here. I'm gonna go around the gas cap first. So I have that pretty much in place. I got the gas cap done and now I'm gonna continue pretty much at the same level as the gas cap. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna squeegee all the way to the back here. This should go real easily once you have the panel all flat. So I'm gonna overlap where I just squeegeed. I'm gonna go a little bit lower. Now, if you stretch it correctly, you see that my wheel well is pretty much almost laying nice and flat. I haven't used any heat, keep in mind. I'm gonna try to stay away from heat as much as I can unless I need it. Can you see right here, there's a little bit of slack in here? Okay, so a little bit of slack. All I have to do, you don't have to heat anything yet. I just need to pull down. If the lines of the slack are going side to side, you wanna pull against them. If I pull with them, all it's gonna do is take these right here and try to make them thinner and even harder to squeegee out. So I'm gonna try to disperse that. So the lines are going side to side, and if I just pull straight down, you'll see they go away. All I'm doing is pulling. So now I should be able to just take my squeegee and squeegee straight out. So I'm just gonna lift this back up with the tension loose and the film being loose. I'm just gonna take my squeegee and I'm gonna go right into that bottom corner. That's it. So I got the outer face squeegeed, but now this vent, that's why this part is still in the air, is because this vent kind of curves in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get a wrap glove, I'm gonna put it on, I'm gonna heat this area, and then I'm gonna push it through while it's hot. So I'm gonna hold my finger on the with my left hand, and I'm gonna pull this out, just keep it tight. I'm gonna heat this entire area. That should be enough. Follow this curve with my glove. And I'm gonna keep moving my left hand to keep tension tight, and I'm gonna lay it right into the curve, and I'm pushing it right into the corner. There's a lot of tension on this now. You can kind of hear it, sounds like a drum. So what I'm gonna do is pull out a little bit of blade so I don't cut through too deep, just a little bit of blade. And that's gonna allow me to pretty much trim out the middle section of this vent. And by me doing that, now the film becomes a lot more flexible. Now there's not nearly as much tension on this film. There is a little antenna that pops up here and you can kind of see it coming through the film. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten up the film and kind of predict where that's going to land. And I'm going to cut a little hole around it. As you can see, I cut a little circle around it, and that'll allow the film to drop in around it and not let that hit it on its way down. So what I'm going to do now is, again, I have slack in here. I need to pull that tight. So I'm going to hold it tight with my left hand, and I'm going to use my squeegee to go around the curve, and I'm going to squeegee in the shape of the curve. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up to this curve, and I can see the film is kind of still hitting it. There's a bigger piece that goes over the top. So I know I don't have to cut exactly around it. I have some wiggle room, and I can kind of see the shape of it right there. So I'm just gonna cut a little slice to go around it, and there you can see the opening that it created, and that'll be enough for the film to lay down. Now, one little trick around here, you're always gonna have tension built up in this area. So one way to make that tension go away is grab a heat gun, and I'm just gonna heat this area up around here. I'm not gonna pull it, I'm not gonna do anything crazy, I'm just gonna put some heat on it. And you'll see what happens when I put heat on it. It kind of all flattens out. All I'm gonna do now is lay it straight down. No pulling, nothing. I'm just gonna lay it straight down. Now the film pretty much laid right around it. I'm just gonna take my hand and I'm gonna create a shape around it. I'm just gonna draw a little circle around it, and I'm gonna keep working that circle smaller and smaller as I get to the base of it. And by the time I'm there, everything lays in nicely. There's no wrinkles anywhere around there, and of course I'll squeegee everything around it once I'm done. But that allows everything to lay down, and that's pretty much it. I have everything squeegeed out now. The next thing I got to do is all my corners, I got to do my edges, and I got to trim everything up. Gonna shove it in as far as it'll allow me to go. My knife, I don't have to put any pressure at all with the new blade. Just cut straight up. For it one more time to make sure everything's seated in correctly. All right, guys, we are done with the quarter panel. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Hopefully this helps some of you at home if you're trying to do your own quarter panels on your car. Hopefully this helps you understand how to wrap one and maybe give you a little more knowledge than you had before. If you guys like these explainer type of videos, you can let me know in the comments. We'll start doing some more. We're just trying to figure out what you guys want to watch. So if you like it, leave us a comment. Also sub to the channel, and I'll put the socials up somewhere on the screen so you guys can follow us on all our social medias. And I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time, all right?